Jordan Peterson is in serious condition, nearly died several times according to his daughter. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on thestar.com, we're going to be talking about a Mr. Jordan Peterson, a controversial academic person who is trying to recover, as far as recent reports say, from a physical dependence, addiction, to prescription medications. Now, it would seem that Mr. Jordan Peterson didn't clean his room because his life is currently a mess. And I've always seen him as someone who is, human like the rest of us. And, well, there's just a lot to get into here. So let's just start with the article, and then I'm going to run you through some things. He nearly died several times. Controversial academic Jordan Peterson seeks to recover from physical dependence to prescription drug. Daughter says. Michaela Peterson recorded a 2-minute special and 50-second YouTube video outlining how her father, Jordan Peterson, developed a physical dependency, addiction, let's call it what it is, to prescribe psychoactive drugs. He got hooked. So the story goes that his wife got sick. And it's very sad. I believe she got some form of cancer or something. And Peterson, to deal with the stress, started taking meds. I'm not exactly sure what meds. Probably a depressant, something to help with anxiety or stress. And he got addicted to them. He got hooked on them. Now he's trying to get clean. Unfortunately, he's having, side effects. Things aren't going well. Apparently, he almost died, contracted pneumonia, and flew to Russia to seek different treatment after several visits to North American hospitals. Reportedly went into an induced coma, and finally, as of February 7th, 2020, is in recovery. Now, Jordan Peterson is almost a mythical figure on the left, or center left, I would say. He's certainly not a right-wing figure, and he's talked multiple times about being afraid of a growing right-wing movement, people waking up, and fear of nationalism. Now, I'm personally not a fan of Jordan Peterson, for a lot of reasons. The fact is, I just see him as someone who wants to maintain the status quo, and who's afraid of change, and as such, honestly not helpful. But maybe we should just boil it down to the simple points. Jordan Peterson didn't clean his room, he let his life spiral out of control. Now, it's clear the man has always suffered from problems like the rest of us. Again, I think he's just human, and you'd be amazed how many people get so upset at you if you question Jordan Peterson. The fact that I called him a human being is certainly going to make a lot of fans angry. They're going to be angry because I don't lick the ground Jordan Peterson walks on. Even Jordan Peterson himself says, "Why are 91% of my viewers male?" Well, he's like the father they never had. He's like the father figure for all the lost men of the world. However, I never believed in his prescription. I never believed in his antidote.
I've been telling people online in various ways and in lectures that they should start fixing up the world by cleaning up their room, and I wanted to just elaborate on that a little bit before I get back to the lecture itself. So, as it's become this weird internet meme, and it's a joke, and good, it's a joke. I'm really happy about the fact that so much of this has got like the leaven of humor in it. It's really important, because that's what stops things from degenerating into conflict, humor. And
so you can see here that he thinks that humor is good because it stops conflict, and he actively wants to avoid conflict. Unfortunately, the wheels of history turn on conflict, on change, on movements, on an awakened consciousness. He's afraid of nationalism. He's afraid of right-wingers. He is afraid of change. And as such, he wants to preserve the status quo. That is what bothers me most about Jordan Peterson. If you really listen to him, if you really consider his opinions, what he's advocating for is a world that doesn't change. This is a naive, impossible dream. Maybe the world needs to change. Maybe leftism, which has led us into destruction, isn't the solution. But Jordan Peterson is, I assume he's a liberal, he's a leftist. What else could he be? When he pushes for leftism and he seeks to suppress right-wingers, he wants to bring everybody to the center so everyone can just, believe in nothing. But he promotes this idea a lot. Clean your room and sort yourself out. Well, he's failed to do so. No, I don't want to be mean. I do not wish to kick a horse while it's down. I personally do not see his, I just don't see his parental value, so to say. I do not respect his daughter because she doesn't seem to respect herself. And by extension, I really don't respect Jordan Peterson. You see, this whole idea of cleaning your own room before you can change the world, as it were, it's not a new idea. Well, not only is it boomer tier advice, I believe it's stolen advice, because he's not the first person to say something like this.
It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, but the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made.
So it's really not a new idea. It's basically the same concept as making your bed every day, clean your room. This is all the same. It's the same advice. It's the same concept. It's the idea that in order to do anything in life, you have to start with a small task that you can sort out yourself. Okay, now that's all fine and well. That's all fine and well, but I don't see Jordan Peterson as original or special or worthy of his cult following, and it really is a cult following. I mean, does anyone remember the time he sold like that 6x6 custom carpet that was signed by him for $2,000? I guess in order to clean my room, first I have to buy this $2,000 rug. And it's not just that. The man monetized almost every part of his little movement, selling every little thing he came up with. Never mind if it actually meant anything. To which I really don't think it's that special. Maybe I should just go on his shop and buy some of his merch. Look at this, the lobster leggings. Only $44.99. That is truly a sweet deal. Or what about the meaning of music, fleece blanket, for $54.99? That sounds affordable. All to power the cult. Anything for Daddy Peterson. Anything at all. The drama began years ago, before the spring of 2019, when Peterson, the University of Toronto professor, renowned clinical psychologist, and international best-selling author, began taking a low dose of medication to treat anxiety and autoimmune disorder. Mikalia said, okay, that's his daughter apparently, right? We know her. Over the last 8 months, Mikalia said to her father, Jordan Peterson has suffered from akathisia, a condition of irresistible restlessness and unbearable discomfort caused by a negative reaction to high doses of drugs and physical withdrawal. This made him think bad thoughts. Okay, let's just say. Now, I don't want to seem heartless here because I am criticizing the man, but he's exactly who I thought he was. All of this time, I thought that Jordan Peterson was overrated because he's just a person like us. He's not really pushing any science. His advice isn't anything special. He rose to power overnight. He built a cult-like following, and you're not allowed to question him. But if you think about it critically, he's just a person. And a lot of his advice is just doesn't matter. Some of it's actually harmful, in my opinion, because he's so afraid of change and conflict and progress. In April of 2019, when Peterson's wife was diagnosed with terminal cancer, sad, yes, absolutely. But the fact is the man became addicted. Doctors prescribed Peterson a higher dose of benzodiazepine, a type of, I probably said that wrong, a type of medical tranquilizer most commonly known via the brand names Xanax and Valium. So this is a man who said that in the past that, oh, medications are wonderful. You should take medications if you need them. It'll be perfectly fine. Trust your doctor. Well, he trusted his doctor, then he got hooked on the drugs. So, yeah, that's also bad boomer tier advice. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. The man pushes things that aren't necessarily going to help you. And if they do help you, great. I mean, that's wonderful for you. But you need to understand a lot of these are just platitudes. That's my biggest problem with Jordan Peterson. It always has been. He pushes platitudes. Clean your room. Don't bother a kid on a skateboard. Blah, 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 boomer tier advice. Okay, I get it. I get it. I don't need you to tell me. I'm not a fancy academic, I'll admit. I spent my life studying psychology, the human mind, all this stuff, all in an attempt, social sciences, chaos theory, all across the board, just trying to understand what the heck is going on in this crazy world. I've looked and I've read and I've read and I've read and I've studied and I've watched and I've experimented and I've seen. And I'm not a fancy academic. I don't have the authority, right? So what I say doesn't matter. But you know what? Somehow my instincts, my presumptions, my predictions about people, they just always seem to come true. I knew Peterson would end up like this because, as far as I could tell, he was a mess. No one believed me. But I'm sure it's just because his wife got sick. I'm sure the man never had any issues. He's just a paragon of virtue, and he's the daddy that's going to save us all. As long as we clean our rooms. Never mind if daddy cleans his own room. So after the North American hospitals couldn't help him, Michaelia said that her family flew to Russia out of desperation to find a hospital that would medically detoxify him. You know, you're not supposed to quit willy-nilly. I have a bad feeling he's going to go cold turkey. He's improving and is off the horrible medication. The medication is not horrible. Medication is not the problem. Again, make up your mind. Is medication good or is it bad? Because I've seen Jordan Peterson say that people who are sad... okay, well, I can only say so much because I'm not a doctor. But he said that people who are sad should go on medicine, okay? I won't name anything. I disagree with that. So don't tell me that, oh, it's all the medication. It's all the medication's fault. Because Peterson has advocated for medication. I don't want to hear it. His sense of humor is back. He's smiling again for the first time in months, she said. But he still has a long way to go to fully recover. The uncertainty around his recovery has been one of the most difficult and scary experiences we've ever had. Okay, so, I guarantee you that Peterson, if he does come back from this, and I suspect he might, he's going to come back, he's going to be like, he's going to use it. He's going to be like, oh, my journey, my awakening, my midlife crisis, and how I found meaning, and blah, 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 blah. He'll have a book part 2, Blah, blah, blah. It just goes over his past. Peterson has gained a following. At one point, he was earning $50,000 per month through crowdfunding from his base of supporters. And he published his bestseller, 12 Rules for Life, in 2018. So, pretty standard here. Addiction. Jordan Peterson, well, it's time for him to clean his own room. And maybe I'm wrong about him. Maybe he's capable of change. But as far as I can tell, he's just a man chasing his own tail. But that's merely, well, I guess it depends on your perspective. The obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. I know a lot of people are probably gonna get pissed at me for this video. I know it's gonna happen. People are gonna be like, how dare you question my great prophet? My daddy, Peterson, he told me to clean my room, and I did. And I gave him 300 big boy points, so that he could give me the privilege of taking his little courses online. I'm sure your life is completely and utterly fixed now. Jokes aside, I do hope he gets better. I don't wish him ill. I really don't. I just wish that he wasn't so harmful to promoting ideas of truth, which is what I want to do. Okay, maybe I'm a nobody. Maybe I'm just a little guy. Maybe I don't have a fancy academic background. Maybe that's the case. But let me tell you this. No matter how popular your liberalism and leftism seems to be, it always seems to end in disaster. And that's what I want to prevent. Disaster. But I'm open to hearing your opinions. You got an argument? Hit me with the argument. You got some reasoning? Hit me with the reasoning. We'll see. We'll see what happens from this. But, when Peterson comes back, if he comes back, I'm sure he's just going to be saying the same things with a new skin. Kind of like that make your bed story. As always, if you want to support this content, you can do so. All the links are in the description. Patreon, Subscribestar, Bitcoin, whatever you want. If you don't, sharing the video helps. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And, well, just thanks for being here. I'll see you all next time.
When you pull your dick out and she pulls hers out, that is chaos. That is unexplored territory. You didn't expect that. You don't know what to do. And that is the belly of the beast.